How's it going, guys? This camera angle is just... There we go. Alright, well, welcome to this random live stream on a Monday morning. I know some of you guys are working, so what's the point of this, right, you say? Well, a lot of you have requested that I do this live stream. I was gonna make a deck profile, which I guess I'll do later, but it hasn't changed that much for me to actually do it. So I don't know. I don't see a point of actually making a new one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what deck I was playing at my locals that I went undefeated, and then I'll talk about let's see. I'll talk about my matchups. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything situated here. Make sure my live stream is working. Yeah. Hi, welcome, Natsos. I feel weird saying your name, dude. I gotta get your real name down. Yeah, I went 4-0 with my locals. I had a matchup against... my first round was against RDA, Red Dragon Archfiend. And then my second matchup was with my... against... what do you call them? Darkwings? No. Raid Raptors. I don't know why I keep calling them Darkwings. I guess I want to make them think. And then third matchup was against Mimighoul, which was pretty interesting. And then my final matchup was against Jose. There you go. And then my last matchup was against Branded. So that, like, I guess it started out pretty rogue and then kind of got a little bit more difficult. So I want to show you my deck profile that I have. This is not it. This is my Ashen deck profile. I haven't gotten to that one yet. This is the deck that I'm actually exploring, trying to make a thing. You know, I like theory crafting, so Ashen will be like one of those decks that I'm gonna be working on. But yeah, this is the build that I took to my regional. That's coming up. But I will be taking this to the regionals. But this is what I took to my locals. Let's see. So yeah, I did end up going with the, like, last minute I made the change because I was, you guys, I've been testing out with Fiendsmith a lot. And the message is clear, right? It's a great engine. And for right now, I'm not looking to change the deck. Because it does require a lot of extra deck space. It takes away from my strategy. And it does essentially what the Teller Knights do. What Constellar Knights do. But I guess more efficiently, yet somehow it takes away from my end board. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I can probably make... I don't like the fact that I have to bridge into it. I guess what I'm trying to say is if I don't draw Fiendsmith, I can bridge into it. But by doing so, if this makes sense to you guys, it takes away from the Teller Knight build. Because you're going in... You know how I used to go into Moon with Altair and Deltaros that kind of bridges me into Fiendsmith? Well, what that does is... Moon doesn't stay there instead of IP. IP is a link 2 and Moon is a link 2, which is cool. But after that, you send Moon away and then you make your link 1 and then you tribute the link 1. And then if you want to have another link 2 on board and make that on board, you need to have enough extra deck space, which I don't have. That means I'm going to have to cut a lot of my tellers, and I'm not about to do that because I like to win on my own terms. At least I like to have the deck maintain some sort of integrity and some sort of identity. But yeah, so I guess this is what I'm trying to say is I'm not changing it unless I figure out how to work my extra deck around. That it doesn't involve me removing too many resources. But yeah, like, so this build went undefeated. My matchups were, I went 2-0 again. I went 2-0 against, I'll go matchup by matchup. So first matchup was against RDA. I won the die roll and I basically turn skipped them. And then game 2, I was able to Droll and Lockbird against him and then kind of shut down his whole engine. So, I mean, and then I obviously won that. And then against Raid Raptors, it was 2-1. He did end up, like, I won die roll again. I turn skipped him. Game 2, he was able to put up his boss monsters. I had the... I did? Who did I inspire? I didn't know that. I want to see. Send me his link. I want to see what his link is like. I want to see his page. So I went against so I went against the... I wasn't able to get out of the towers. I had enough, and this is the beauty of Horus monsters, right? I was able to get out of the... What's that big monster? The Raid Raptor. I had the Horus monsters on board, and I could have gone over those Raid Raptor monsters. But I wasn't, but he had a lot of back row protection, so I couldn't. So we went to game 3, and then I won from there. I did end up making the board of Hope Harbinger, and I think after I got Droll and Lockbird against Mimighoul, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but Mimighoul was a funny matchup. I lost the die roll to that. That one went 3 games as well. So I lost the die roll. That's a pretty nasty deck, man. That was, I think, my best matchup as well, because he was able to... I don't know if you guys are familiar. That deck, what it does is it sets cards to your side of the field from your opponents. It's like Kaiju's, but in reverse. And then when they flip face up, they make you flip them face up, and then it's a pretty nasty deck, and that's only first wave. It's already better than all the TCGs that I've seen, and I think it's going to be one of the best TCG exclusive sets as of recent, outside of, Burning Abyss. So he was able to settle those cards, and during my turn, I had Droplet in hand, and I was lucky enough to just Droplet, send his face down cards on my side of the field to the graveyard as cost, and then get rid of, like, neutralize his monsters, and then just summon Horus monsters and just beat over it. So that was pretty insane. That was because I never played against that deck, but I figured it out on the fly, and I'm like, man, that's insane that the thank you for saying that, Jose. That the deck can do that. So Droplet came up pretty clutch game 1. Game 2, I wasn't able to overcome it, and game 3, I was able to set up my board playing through Droll and Imperm. I think he Impermed and Drolled me, but by that time I already had Deltaros on the board. And once you have Deltaros established and you have the Constellar Tellarknights, you can pop off into your combo, because these guys don't really care about Droll. And then once you have this, you're just special summoning from grave and from hand at that point. I wasn't able to get to Twinkle, which is unfortunate, so I wasn't able to turn skip him. But what I did is I made the board of Hope Harbinger, I made the board of Appaloosa and Ptolemaeus, which is like, doesn't seem like much. Did I have? I think I had Photon Lord as well. Yeah, so I had this board instead. I had Photon Lord, I had Hope Harbinger, which is my backup board in case I can't get to the turn skip, which is pretty oppressive if you think about it. So during his turn, I used up Hope Harbinger, and then I used up Appaloosa. He had Fenrir on board, so what he tried to do is swing over with Fenrir, like in battle. He had Fenrir and one of his Mimighoul monsters, I think the King. So he had this one. He had my board already, so I had 3 monsters in the main, 1 in the extra deck, and then 2 free slots. So he was able to put 1 face down card on my side, and I wanted to make sure that that last space is occupied by Alteran chilling in the grave. So when he went into battle, I had 2 negates on Appaloosa. I activated Ptolemaeus' effect to bring out Pleiades. So Fenrir activated, I negated it with Appaloosa, and then I was able to bring out Pleiades and clog the zone. So that way he couldn't put any more monsters on my side. So I had a full board. So he's like, man, I got nowhere to put monsters. And I was able to pop 3 cards on his side of the field and then push for game. because you have the recursion with the Horus monsters. So that matchup. So that was an amazing, amazing game 3. I hear my kid yelling. Let me go see what he's doing. 1 second, guys. David, I'm making a video. What's up? Give that to Lila. I'm going to open it. Lila, can you open that for him? The orange. The orange. Alright. A lot of you might be asking why I'm at home. This is why. I'm watching the kiddos and I'm making a live stream at the same time. So yeah, so that was my best matchup. And then round 4 was against Branded. I haven't faced that deck in a while, but I know the ins and outs of it, so I know how it plays. I was really getting ready for Gimmick Puppet. Let's see, who won the die roll? I won the die roll. And of course, transaction with the Mayakashi came up again, so I skipped his turn. So I Gimmick Puppet him before he Gimmick Puppet me. Wait, did I win or did he win? I'm trying to remember who won die roll. No, he won die roll. He won die roll. I think he normal summoned Cartesia? No, what's her name? Ecclesia? I forget her name. Blazing Cartesia. It was Blazing Cartesia, if I'm not mistaken. Blazing Cartesia. Blazing. Yeah. Blazing Cartesia, the Virtuous. So he led off with this. I'm trying to think. He did a lot of misplays. I think for Branded Fusion I had Ash Blossom. I know he tried to activate it once, and then I went first and I basically turn skipped him. Yeah, so that was easy. Game 2, he let me go first, which I thought that was weird. I'm like, are you sure you want me to go first? He's like, yeah. So I think he was trying to go board breaker approach, which I guess is weird. But the sad part is I thought he was gonna make me go second, so I took out my transaction in my Akashi, or else I would have been able to have game. But on the good note, I was able to put up Diamond, which I mean, Diamond is an automatic killer for that deck. So once Diamond hits the board, they can't send from deck to grave. They can't add from grave to hand. So Diamond, and I had basically, it was a weird board because he did hand trap me. So I had Diamond on board. I had Hope Harbinger, which is a good to have, and I had SP Little Knight. And I think he tributed SP Little Knight and Hope Harbinger. I guess I wouldn't have done that. I would have gotten rid of, because it's funny because he read my Diamond like 6 times, and then he ended up using Thrust into Branded Fusion, which I thought was weird. I don't know. He read my card like 6 times, and then he tried to go back into the deck, and I said, "Sorry, bro, you can't go back into the deck. You've read my card like 6 times. You gotta just play what you can." And he wasn't able to play through because Diamond doesn't let branded players play. So that was all my matchups, and I do like this deck, this variant more because it offers a lot. I know you guys noticed that I added Sombre in here. Sombre is interesting. This guy, I think once you open Pollux, if you don't open Sheraton, and you can save your normal summon, which you're going to banish off of Caduceus when you summon him, you can banish Sheraton. And instead of adding him, like let's say you have him in hand already, any combination of this, and this, you can add this guy and just hold him in case you get nibbed. That way you can extend and you can keep playing. Worst case scenario, I want to make room for Baguska in here because Shifter hurts this deck, like a lot of decks. However, I can't seem to find room. What I'm trying to do is trying to see if I can play without Gaga Magician. I think there's a way. And the way you do that is you have to play. I think you have to play. What's her name? Unukalai. Because once you play Unukalai, she dumps. Alteran, and then from there you combo off. It's just Unukalai feels bad because she's weird to say. She's a brick. I mean, it is what it is. She's a brick because she doesn't interact with this build. I mean, she doesn't interact with any brick. I mean, with any teller, to be fair, outside of Vega and Liren. So I mean, I can show you guys some games. My side deck, I mean, this is not what it looked like at all. I just feel like the only thing I got to use was Thrust. I was maining Thrust, but I never got to use it, so I'm like, I probably don't need it. Like, and then I don't have a lot of Thrust targets outside of these 3 normal spells, and these 3 trap. I mean, these four fives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see how Thrust can be good though, because you Thrust, you can add this to your hand. Hold on, right? Add this to your hand, and then you dump it off King's Sarcophagus. That's... Yeah, you know, like, it's so weird, right? Skybridge. I wish Vega, you call her Vegas. I wish Vega interacted with herself the way Pollux does, but they don't, you know? It's like, that's the downfall of Teller Knights. They're just so limiting. Like this guy is legit, you know? Like, it has a quick effect, man! Many people don't realize this son of a bitch has a quick effect. All you need to do is have 7. Holy shit, 7. I don't even think there is like 7 Teller Knights that are playable. Look, it says you can detach. If you have 7 or more Teller Knights, you can detach 1 special a different Teller Knight. Can you imagine detach 1? If you can pull this off, it'll be amazing. You detach 1, you bring out Trevor, and then you just wipe board. And that's during the opponent's turn. So when it comes back to you, you're playing for free. Oh, if we could make this work. Does it say Teller Knights or just Tellers? Teller Knight, man. I don't think there's at any point in this game. It's not even cards. It's Teller Knight monsters. So this makes the impression with different names. Oh, see how restrictive this is? See how restrictive. 7 different Teller Knights. That means you're forced to play shitty Teller Knights in your deck. This condition is more impossible than this condition. Oh, yeah, and pure Teller Knights are not good, man. It's can you imagine how hard it is to pull this shit off? You need to run 1, 2, 3. Here, I'll tell you the playable ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't play him because he reshuffles everything back. Unless you choose to keep him in grave. Don't come at me, dude. When are you ever gonna summon Rigel? Artwork's dope, but when are you summoning this guy? When this card's summoned, target a monster on the field, gains 500, send it to the graveyard. Why? Why? Don't get me started on the Zephyrs, alright? This is like the biggest fuck. I swear, Konami didn't know which direction to head. Alright? First, they made the deck into a control deck with trap cards. Then, they added Zephyr cards for pendulums for some odd reason. Not Teller Knight pendulums, but like Zephyr pendulums, right? So yeah, you're forced to play the Zephyr cards. Back in 2016, it was a power boost. Oh, it sounds so bad. Oh, it sounds so bad. You know what else is a power boost? Rush Recklessly. Acts of Despair. These guys are dope. I mean, you have these 3 in hand, you can't play. Unless you have any combination of Skybridge or anything else. Stop it. Stop it, Jose. I'm not dealing with you right now. Let's see. If this card summoned a Teller Knight, I think the rest of these are bad. Like this one, if it was, it's so specific, right? It's so specific that it hurts my head. You can treat level 4 or lower Tellarknight monsters you control as level 5. Oh, that's awesome! That's great! When X is summoning using 3 or more monsters! Don't get me started. Ah! David, I'm recording this video. What do you want? David, stop. Okay. No, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play Skybridge. You're nuts. Where's my dog getting? Get out of here, Jack. All right. Okay. And then look at the field spell. Yo, can we make this accessible? Can you imagine if they make a card that searches for this? Ooh! Oh, it's like a judgment but free. You just bring Deltaros out. Oh man. I don't know what Konami was thinking. Because then after that wave, after this crappy Zephyr wave, it died down. And then they're like, let's bring out. Not gonna lie though, Trevor back then was really strong. You didn't care that it locked you. Wait, which one searches any counter? Yeah, Trevor was really strong back then. It's weak as hell now because you can't special summon except Tellarknight monsters after you use his effect. After he's summoned. I mean, you know what? This would be okay. I would even consider this usable if like keep the lock. You gotta change the requirements. Just 3 level 4 monsters. I think that's fair. One of those has to go. Either 3 level 4 Tellarknights, which just seems more balanced, or like make it generic, but like still has a drawback, right? I think that's what the deck is looking really good, man. I went 4-0 with my locals. I think this is the build that I'm taking to regionals. To be honest, I didn't get to face up against like any Snake Eyes or anything like that, but I did play against Mimighoul and Branded, which are pretty formidable decks themselves. As the combo stands, I mean, I like what it does. See, like, the unfortunate part is I did like the Moon Girl Because Moon gets you into what do you call it? Like if you get stopped here, at least you can go Moon Girl and then extend that way. But like I said, it's too much extra deck space. And with decks like this, you take your chances, you brick, you know, from time to time. But I mean that. Oh shit! I added the wrong one. But then that goes without saying. Like you don't expect your opponent to have every out, because a lot of people are shifting to board breaker approach, which works in our favor. So once the board breaker approaches, hey kids, Daddy's live streaming. Do you guys need anything? No, it's too early.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, let's go. Let's do it.
Live streaming with kids, it's beautiful. Yeah, if we had a link too that kind of got us out of that sticky situation, that'd be nice. But unfortunately, we don't. I want to swap out Gagaga for Bagooska. I feel like I'll need it. So in here, if you're going first, right? I mean, this is a good hand. What you want to do is probably hold on to Droplet. I think it's more important than Imperm. And in here, like, you can, like, make sure to bring out the Horus monster first. And then you want to send him. And bring this out. No, I think board breaker is better. I love this play. I love the zombie vampire play. It's such a good card. This is like that one tuner, that one synchro that got banned. I forgot his name. That like milled. So we have our own built in. Look at that. It's like a free summon. And if you're lucky enough, you mill transaction up. No, you go with the board breaker approach, man. Because like hand traps don't work. I'm sorry, they don't. It's like, it's insane. You Bell, you need like 3 or 4 hand traps to stop that deck now. Especially with Fiendsmith. You're better off going with the board breaker approach. Trust me. That's why, like, sometimes I feel like we should go into, yeah, like Droplet, like it came up clutch. And I have flirted with the idea of having Banshee here. I mean, we can technically, like, that's another strong engine you can run here. But look at what the deck does, you know? And like sometimes you brick and all you have is a zombie vampire. All you gotta do is like mill the cards that you need. And the deck doesn't brick as much as it looks on surface because you are shuffling a lot of cards in and out of the deck. It just, the deck flows so much easier that the Tellarknights, like, the alternative build doesn't. Yeah, you can fight me on that, but it doesn't. This is like the best way to play the deck, and I think it's true because its synergy is insane. I mean, where do you go? I mean, you can go anywhere from here. If you don't want to go with the Gaga route, which you should, you can go Beatrice here, but like, having Gaga is like so clutch. Detach, bring back. If you don't want to keep them, you don't have to. You go 1, 2. I mean, probably should keep them. Are we gonna use Deltaros effect again? Yeah, you should keep him as like a backup, I guess. If you want to mill again. Because he does have some protection, I guess, and is a big defense monster. And then from here you go for your turn skip, and then you have recursion coming up. So, I mean, the deck is like the best way to play it right now, I think, is this way. Yeah, the Horus monsters look fun. I mean, the Fiendsmith monsters look fun, but they require a lot of extra deck. And this deck is already tight on extra deck space. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. I mean, basically, if you draw into it, good for you. If you don't, you don't. I mean, that's the only other way you can play the Fiendsmith. Because you're cutting out a lot. Basically, you're going to run 3 of this and the Luri and 1. So that's 5 cards. You need this guy for sure. 5 cards and then so 2 extra deck spaces, and I don't have any. I mean, one can make an argument for Full Town Lord going away, but I'm always scared of somebody. Nibiru's going to make a comeback in that. People are playing way too reckless now. I noticed that during the local play. People are just slapping monsters, like especially Raid Raptors, and like there will be rogue decks at the regionals, and I bet you they'll walk into Nib a lot of times. And I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. Droll is good against rogue decks as well. And then these guys are just time cards for going first or second. Going first, you go for this. Going second, you go for this. When it comes to time, and there will be time when you go to time. Time when you go to time. Do you guys want to see my Ashen deck for right now? What I'm working with. This is the other deck that I kind of hinted at that I want to start testing again. You guys want to see what it does? Because I don't know what it does. But we can deck build together. Hello. Who this?
Good morning, sir. My name is Tanvir. How are you today?
Who's this?
Mr. Gabor.
Yeah, where are you guys calling from?
Actually, I'm calling you from London, and this call is in
No.
reference to give you up.
Leave me alone. I'm not interested. Alright, so Ashen deck profile. Here we go. First look. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this mess? It's not complete, clearly. So this Ashen is a man to go second deck. Yeah, it's meant to go second deck for sure. Basically, Fusion Deployment is a card that I'm interested in because I think what you do is you search. It's another way for you to get to Vados. Pop Shifter. So go second deck. Special. What does this do? Can pop itself? That's trash. All right. I wanna test that out. What do you guys think? Like, what gels well with this deck? So I know it's a fusion deck. Is Ashen bad? Into Shifter? I don't think it's bad into Shifter. Because this girl, I think, recycles Ashen, banished or in graveyard. I mean, yeah, I guess it is bad into Shifter. I don't know. I'm just trying to like find an advantage in this deck. Maybe Pot of Prosperity, definitely, because we have... You know what we can do, since it locks us out of extra deck at some point? Like this one locks us into Pyros and then an extra deck. And then we can run the Dogmatica engine. So Dogmatica does not rely on... Ooh. Can we abuse this boy? Because this says... Cannot special summon from extra deck except Pyro monsters. This one says... From the deck or extra deck except Pyro monsters. Why does it lock you? What is this, 2015? I have no idea how to use this. Probably Nadir Servant, I think one of him, triple of her, and then one of him. And then one of this. How do you like use the Dogmatica? Does anybody know? Alright, let's see how this works. But I do know that you have to put a lot of cards for Nadir Servant. What's a good one? What's a good one to send? Is it the Servant? What is it called? The Fusion. No. What's that one? Can anybody help me here? I have to do my own research. Alright, let's see. What's a good Nadir Servant target? Oh, come on. Oh, there. Found it. Oh, her. It will be... Titaniclad is one of them.
Ow. That's a jerk. Ow.
You guys okay over there? Titaniclad, Herald of the Arclight. Omega maybe? No. I think Tri-Brigade. Fossil Warrior. And then Pegasus. And then, oh, this one. What's her name? Elder Entity. Alright, let's try this. This is not what you guys were thinking. Yeah, yeah. Lulu Wellet? I forgot what that does. We do want to go second here. That's fine. We're gonna let him resolve all this stuff. Oh, really? Dogmatica is dope. Not gonna lie. So, oh, he has Invocation. That's another thing. Let's see. From deck or extra deck. So this will lock us. I think Dogmatica might be the way to go here. What are the odds? Oh, Lulu Wellet? I'll look into it. Oh. Send to the graveyard? Yes, please. Let's send... Ooh. Wait, where isn't this? One? Womp womp. Oh no, I didn't resolve the chains right. I didn't resolve the chains right! Shadow's Light. That's interesting. Ooh, hell yeah. Haha, yeah. What do I want to send here? What do I want to send here? I don't want to use this yet. I'll leave it last. Let's get rid of it. Oh shit, I can't go there. I did not see the troll coming. Not gonna lie. I feel like I misplayed that. No effect. All right. Okay, kiddos. What do you guys want? Oh, it's my little one.
No, it's 3.
In my room?
Yes.
Sure.
Dad, can you turn the...
Oh, he has an Omni Negate? How did he get this one on board? Did he draw into it?
That's how I did that with the kid roller.
Yeah, I lost this one.
Dad,
Why don't you go downstairs and watch TV? Why are you watching it here?
I don't want to watch Mr. Krabs.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna set him up next door. Give me a second. Come on, let's go. I'll put you in the TV over there. Lila, we'll play in 10 minutes, okay? We'll play in 10 minutes. We'll play in 10 minutes. I said we'll play in 10 minutes. All right, back in time. Okay, so. Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, triple negates? Goddamn. You got a trap, buddy? Nope. I like this. Not that I'm going to be able to kill him here, but... This deck doesn't quite work. I think I just need to work on the ratios. Oh yeah, give me that. Give me that super poly. Oh shit, shouldn't have done that. It nukes everybody's field. No, I'm so dumb. I should have saved it. Yeah, I'm not playing this right. Does anybody know an ideal deck list for this? I gotta cook with this, but I am excited about the potential of this. Hold on. Sorry, you won, yes. I am excited. Or I'm starting to get excited because hold on. Let me Google a Dogmatica package. Does anybody know a Dogmatica package? Oh, it is. It does include Shaddoll, huh? Are you sure? Because, I mean, do I need this guy? How do I even bring this guy out? I gotta hit up Spencer. Spencer's my friend. He's had the deck for a little bit, so I'm gonna hit him up. Alright, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here, and then I'll be back on later, maybe around noon, okay?